We are live on the eve of a very special holiday. It was as a kid growing up. By the way, hi, I'm Rich Lieberman, in case you weren't aware or gave a you know what. But here I am, and I'm going to throw you a curveball. I'm going to give you something you might not be expecting, but what the hell? I've stated this a gazillion times. I'm say it again. I got so much get so much response from various people that frankly I never even thought existed via email or chance encounter who tell me that they love it when I talk about my mom. And my mom would have said to me, God, get on with your life, kind of stuff. But they like the fact that I talk about my mom. I used to write about her too. And if you met her, she was a trip. Good old Brooklyn Jewish mother who, I mean, everyone's mother is special, right? Of course. And that's the way it should be. There's no bad thing about that. But my mom was so damn unique and she had to put up with me too, right? But Thanksgiving, it's close by, and I don't really have a holiday anymore because I don't have any family anymore. And I'm not asking for sympathy and all that. Please, just hear me out. Um, my mom had a ritual with the little family I did have. Most of my family's back east in New York, but my mom moved out here in the 40s and met my eventual dad. And I don't want to go into a long soliloquy about that, but we weren't that close, but we were still tight knit. And it was especially prevalent during the holiday. And Thanksgiving was that holiday. When I was born, my mom was already divorced from my dad, as she called him Mendel. My dad was named as Melvin, but Yiddish term Mendel. Uh, and we'd all gather, usually at my older sister's house. And it was a big ritual in the family. And my mom, Brooklyn born, mind you, she was very blasé about everything in life. Not to say she didn't care or anything like she did. Old school to the max. But they had a big ritual. And my mom loved the Macy's Thanksgiving. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And they'd all come over, my brother and my sisters, even though they lived in LA, one of the sisters, they'd come up to the house and they'd watch the Thanksgiving Day parade. All the while, one of my sisters was cooking, and but they'd have a blast, right? They'd watch the Thanksgiving Day parade, and we'd talk, and we were all disjointed because again, my mom was already divorced, my dad wasn't around much, but Thanksgiving was close. And they'd watch the parade, and then we'd all talk about uh, the dinner that night. It was usually going to be at my sister's house, and we'd have my dad, my brother, my late brother Michael, and we'd have a really close knit. It was so cool Thanksgiving, and it was a big to do. And mind you, again, people say, "Oh, they go out and toss footballs." Some of the people would go, and their sisters or brothers would go play flag football. They do all the, watch the football game, all the traditional Thanksgiving family stuff, right? And in my case, it was just taking part in that, thinking about the meal that night. And again, mind you, my dad was there, even though my mom and my dad were divorced. My brother, who made jokes and was hysterical, and reminded me, my brother reminded me a lot of like a Robin Williams type of a guy, but that's another story. But we have this really cool dinner, and it was the best dinner. I mean, we had, everybody's dinner is great, right? I get all that, but we had the whole family, and I had both of my sisters. And what we would usually do is have the turkey and all that stuff, and eat, and then kvetch, and then eat and kvetch. We talk about, basically, it was like very Jewish Thanksgiving. Everybody would talk about their illnesses, and some people would talk about the fact that they had this or they had that or what have you. I'm sitting there looking at all this. It was all joyous, even though it was kind of depressing in a way. But we'd eat, and then we'd kvetch, and then we'd have the big turkey and the stuffing and all that shit. And usually, as I said, it was my brother-in-law was there and his dad, Norman, and we'd have my dad, and we'd have all the sisters and of course, my mother, rest in peace, Ann Landau. And we'd either go up to my aunt's perhaps later on and have the dessert, or my aunt and my cousin. Um, she'd come down with Mayor, my extended cousin, rest in peace, Mayor, and they'd come, or yeah, they'd come for dessert, or we'd go up to the Claire's house, Aunt Claire, for dessert. And it was this, again, all connected, which is what makes Thanksgiving, in my opinion, the greatest holiday there is, because it's what, non-denominational, Jew, Christian, Muslim, black, white, gay, straight. We're all connected, even if we're not connected. So I miss my mom. I miss my family. For the most part, I don't have a family now, so I don't know what the hell to do with myself on Thanksgiving. So, and I get really gooey here. I'm sorry. And then sometimes, when you put everything into what is life and you factor everything in, I wish all of you, even those that I've had massive disagreements with and who hate me and what have you, who pity me or think I'm an asshole or all of the above. First and foremost, we're all human beings, even some of us that have major disagreements or perhaps less of a feeling for, like myself, towards others. But we're all here, most of us. We have a day in which we can sit with family. Hopefully, you have family. I am jealous of you if you do. And I don't want to be modeling, or I don't want to sound like a schmuck, but God damn it, don't take your family for granted, please. And I don't have to tell you that. You probably already know. And I always say to myself and to others, and you all know this, there are bigger fish to fry. There are so many big things. I'm not being a preacher now. I'm not being your therapist. God knows I need therapy, right? But don't take it for granted. And tell all your loved ones how wonderful it is to be here this day, which is technically tomorrow on Thursday when the whole big meal, the feast is served and all that. I envy you. I really do. I miss my family and especially mom. She taught me everything. She was a pain in the ass, but she was always, and I was a pain in the ass too, surprise. She was always there. She was there no matter what, which is what all great mothers are there for, right? We know about all that. I'm not going to get preachy. Just don't take them for granted too, or your dad, if you're lucky enough to have had a dad. I spoke about my dad, who was very funny too, who made the greatest jokes when you needed a joke, even though he wasn't always there, literally and figuratively speaking. This time of the year, ladies and gentlemen, I speak for a lot of you. It's so tough. It is so hard. And yes, we're supposed to be adults and live beyond that, because we all say to ourselves, well, guess what? We'll get through it. And most of us will. But I know for many of you folks out there, myself included, this is tough. It's hard because you think about, and you yourself get jealous. We see all these people and mothers and fathers and sons and daughters and everybody and kids and grandkids and all of that. And we say, damn it, if I had just one quarter of that or something like that, because you see families and they're all joyous and happy and they share this and so forth. And it's all kind of combined. Thanksgiving, like I said, it's my favorite holiday. It was my favorite holiday growing up as a kid because you went, you ate, you noshed. I'm not the greatest turkey guy, but on Thanksgiving and the dark meat, and I like the drumstick, and everybody knew it, my mom included. And it was the best. And we all ate, and we had the pumpkin pie, and we had all this family together, and even the people that you didn't necessarily love, and they didn't necessarily love you, we were all seated and happy and joyous, hopefully healthy, and it was just all good. So, from the bottom of my heart, what's left of it, I wish all of you, media people, layman people, Christian, Jew, black, white, Muslim, everybody, to have a great holiday, to think about your loved ones, to continue to carry on against whatever odds, in my case, a lot. But nevertheless, I wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And for one day at least, put aside all of our whatever issues in life, personal, professional, etc., etc. Fress, as mom would have said, that's a Yiddish term for eating, which for Italians and Jews is a big word, fressing. And to enjoy yourself, and no matter how difficult the circumstances are, know that you are alive and well, hopefully, and that you care about each other. I'm getting too preachy, but that you enjoy your feast and say hi and just be healthy. And from the bottom of my heart, again, enjoy yourself, be happy, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone.